Temperatures and looking forward to not only today but tomorrow afternoon as the Pirates try to end the first half of the season before the break in first place in the National League Central Division. And Paul, you talk about that race and you mentioned the batting race. That's always fun, Steve. Andrew McCutchen leading Melky Cabrera. It's a tight race in the National League.
Yeah, a lot of fun in two areas, and fortunately we don't have to choose which one we'd prefer to see. If I had to choose, I'd take the division races that both these teams are in. By the way, both teams 46 and 37, so that's going to be fun to watch. The batting races, well, there was another Cabrera that came into town, didn't make it. Freddie Sanchez was able to hold him off. I look at these two guys being involved right till the end of September.
You see the average there for McCutchen, 360, for Melky Cabrera, 358. McCutchen did his part not only to stay atop the batting race, but try and keep the Pirates on top in the division and win the ball game. Unfortunately, the Pirates did not. They fell short, but I'll tell you again, McCutchen doing all he can.
You know, the magic of McCutchen right now, you don't want to take your eyes off him. He's exciting, whatever he does. Reminds me of a time long ago when that was the tag on Roberto Clemente. He was magic to watch. McCutchen is magic to watch right now, and he's just on a roll. He is dragging this ball club along with him.
Stay hot, Andrew. Speaking of hot, well, James McDonald's won 3 in a row. He's 8-3 this season. The Buccos and the Giants are next. It is a hot summer afternoon in Pittsburgh, and there you look at the current standings in the National League Central Division. The Reds once again tonight will take on the San Diego Padres out west. Meanwhile, the Pirates take on, from the Western Division, the Giants. They're just a half game back of the Dodgers in that division. Former Dodgers pitcher James McDonald has found a home here in Pittsburgh. And we mentioned J-Mac's record this season and lifetime at PNC Park, 13-4 at PNC Park. In his career, Buccos have the best home record in all of baseball. Here are the Giants under Bruce Bochy. Gregor Blanco leads off, and it's Ryan Theriot and Melky Cabrera. Buster Posey back behind the plate and hitting cleanup. Kung Fu Panda, Pablo Sandoval hitting .314 on the road, .330. Angel Pagan is in center field. Brandon Belt at first. Brandon Crawford, the shortstop, and former Pirate Ryan Vogelsong on the hill for the Giants.
He'll be facing number 53, James McDonald. All this information brought to you by the Western PA Chevy dealers. He's been on quite a roll, 6-1 in his last 7 decisions. He is really outstanding in terms of opponent's batting average, 197. He's ranked along with Vogelsong in the top 10 of that category. He is 8-3. His 3 losses were games in which the Pirates were shut out. Now, the other side of that coin, the last 3 starts for James McDonald, the Pirates have scored him 31 runs. So he should be able to win games when they average 10 runs for you. And a little bit of a red flag. They scored enough to cover this up, but 5 walks last time against the Houston Astros. You can't do that against this baseball team for many reasons. The obvious one, too many base runners, but this is a speed team. Not used to seeing speed from the Giants, but they're ranked 3rd in the National League in stolen bases. They've got some serious speed at the top, a little bit at the bottom, so minimize your base runners because you can't always work around the stolen base.
Starting with Gregor Blanco, who has stolen 15 bases. First pitch, strike.
And just expect to see a whole lot of pitching today with Vogelsong and James McDonald. They're both pitching extremely well.
Ball and 1 strike. See the fastball at 92, the temperature 97. James McDonald, 8-3, 2.45 ERA. Look at that. Last time the Pirates played a home game with temperatures at 95 degrees or higher, you have to go back to 1999, July 31st, 1999. It was 95 degrees at first pitch.
Well, there's a start for you. Strikeout of Blanco. You can't steal a base when you strike out. James McDonald off to a nice start. Breaking ball takes something off. Downstairs, good spot, and a good change of speeds. Good downer.
A team that does not strike out a lot. In fact, second fewest strikeouts in the National League, the Giants, behind the Philadelphia Phillies. James McDonald has punched out 91 now in 103 innings. Ryan Theriot was 1 out of 3, had a big RBI double in the 4th inning last night against Eric Bedard. Breaking ball, 1-1.
James has so much a different presence on the mound than when he first arrived. He's out there like he really knows what he's doing, has a plan, doesn't fool around, not a lot of walking around the mound. He gets the ball back from Michael McHenry, gets a sign, he is ready to go again. That's when you're kind of sure.
That's one of the biggest differences for him, is how quickly he has pitched this season. And I guess that goes into the confidence factor, and now we get to the Rivers Casino tips to win.
Acknowledge the heat, play the game. Okay, yeah, it's hot, we know that. Address it, acknowledge it, and then move on. James, keep picking up the pace, but be efficient. Don't get ahead of yourself. And you know what? Don't whine. Nobody wants to hear whiners about the heat. And if you can't handle heat, get out of the kitchen. Simple as that. There we go. James, don't change the thing.
Ball bunted by Melky Cabrera, trying to bunt for a hit.
There are some pitchers that just embrace the heat. Other guys prefer to pitch in the cold weather when the hitters can't seem to get quite as loose, get a lot of balls hit off the handle. I always like pitching in the cool weather. It's draining. It really is draining.
That's another reason why, Steve, if it is this hot, you do want to pick up the pace.
Yeah, for everybody, including yourself.
Most fielders don't like being out there waiting around.
Yep, and what you do, usually take less time warming up before the game, fewer pitches in between innings. When you go back out there, you adjust yourself a little bit.
Ball and 2 strikes on Melky Cabrera. Batting average .358.
Yeah.
Casey McGee over there at first. You saw the infielders, Walker, Alvarez, poking at it. Melky Cabrera.
Kind of ironic, Greg, that when I was pitching in this kind of hot weather, I would take like 3 pitches in between innings and drive the television people crazy. And now IR one.
You're still driving the truck crazy, but for different reasons.
Yeah, well, you don't want to break the string.
Right.
Just find new material.
Drove them nuts when you're out pitching, and now you're doing it here in the booth. 2-2 the count on Melky Cabrera.
Umpire said, "You can't start yet. You can't start yet." Well, wait a minute. I'm out here on the mound. I'm ready to go. Hitter's ready to go.
2-2 pitch. Poked at that one. Toward the line and left. A long run and a foul ball. Boy, was that close. Drew Sutton.
Boy, they're finding Drew, aren't they? I mean, they're really testing it.
Doesn't matter where they put him.
As a career infielder, you can't really hide anybody in the big leagues, but you put an infielder out in the outfield, there's a lot of action, and there are going to be issues and challenges and tests that are foreign to what you're used to doing. He's doing his best. He really is. But, boy, does he have a lot of ground to cover out there in left field.
The old cliche about baseball being a game of inches. Now, what's going to happen here? That ball, a few inches, and it's a double. This ball fouled down the line to right. And once again, these Pirate ball girls do great jobs. Fearless. But last night, Casey McGee, during his at-bat, I believe it was in the first inning, had a ball down the line. Could have been a double. Down the right field line, down the left field line, close. Instead, he ended up hitting into a double play. Game of inches. 3-2 now on Melky Cabrera.
And that was the game changer in last night's ball game. That was the first game changer.
Stays 3-2 on Cabrera, who went downstairs to lift his 8th home run of the season over the left field wall as a right-hand hitter against the lefty Bedard last night. Another 3-2 pitch. And this ball toward Sutton, and he's there. 1-2-3 for J-Mac. Bucks come to bat. Pirates will face Ryan Vogelsong, and the lineup brought to you by Toyota moving forward. Buccos at 46-37 on the year. Drew Sutton leads off, and it's Neil Walker, 10-game hitting streak for him, and during this stretch he's batting .421. Andrew McCutcheon hits third, then it's Garrett Jones in right field. Casey McGee hits fifth. Pedro Alvarez homered last night. Michael McHenry back behind the plate. Clint Varmus and James McDonald.
And can you believe that Ryan Vogelsong, well, he was 27 a couple of days ago when he was with the Pirates. He's 34 years old, and he got it figured out. It didn't work for the Pirates after they got him from the Giants, and bounced around, went over to Japan, but last year came back 13-7 for San Francisco, and right now he is leading the National League in earned run average, 2.26, making start number 16. You got to hand it to Ryan Vogelsong. didn't quit.
Drew Sutton will bat from the left side, playing his 12th game for the Pirates, and pops the first pitch up. Shallow left center. And the center fielder Pagan makes the play. One pitch, one out, the bottom half of the first inning. The Giants defensively, Pagan in center, Gregor Blanco in right, Melky Cabrera in left. Pablo Sandoval at third, Brandon Crawford the shortstop, Ryan Terrio at second, Brandon Belt at first, and Buster Posey behind the plate for Vogelsong, who currently owns the lowest earned run average in the National League, 226. James McDonald fourth lowest. Neil Walker average up to 277.
And the thing is, Vogelsong's not doing it with mirrors, Greg. He has started 15 games before today. 11 times, 11 out of those 15, he has pitched 7 innings or more.
Really a great story. A great person, Ryan Vogelsong. Rooted for him when he was acquired from the Giants. We heard great things about him. The top prospect, pitching prospect in the Giants organization. The Pirates were pairing payroll at the time, Jason Schmidt, and they weren't going to sign him to the expensive contract that he eventually did sign with the Giants. Vogelsong was really going to be the future ace of the Pirates. Just 2 starts into his Pirates career. Injured his elbow, underwent Tommy John surgery, and the long road back that Steve talked about.
5th round choice by the Giants in 1998. He's been pitching a long time. Came over to the Pirates in 2001. Parts of 5 or 6 years. Just 33 starts for the Pirates.
2-2 on Neil Walker.
There you go. It has been a rough road at times, but here's where it all came together.
Made the All-Star team last year, and it was here in Pittsburgh, ironically enough, that he made his first Giant start after being signed to a minor league contract. Barry Zito was hurt. Ball hit toward the corner. A chance for extra bases for Walker. And just like last night for Neil Walker, a double off the track and into the seats.
So he keeps it going, extends the hitting streak, and it's not just a streak. He's hitting well over 420 now, maybe around 430 during this run of Neil Walker's. Not getting as much attention as it should because of Andrew McCutchen, but he's swinging the bat very well. Very, very well.
Walker came within inches of hitting a home run to left field last night. Ball bounces onto the track and into the seats for a ground rule and book rule double. And for Neil Walker, that is his 19th double of the season, and that leads the team. Here is McCutchen. So he leads the league in hitting. He's tied for 6th with 16 homers and 56 RBIs. Here now a matchup of the top pitcher in the league in terms of ERA and the top hitter in the league. Andrew McCutchen facing Ryan Vogelsong. And a bouncing ball to the shortstop Crawford. Vogelsong wins that battle.
And if you missed this when we were making our opening remarks about Andrew McCutchen, he is becoming one of those guys you don't want to miss anything he does. It's just been very, very exciting. There are guys that hit, and yeah, it's good, but there's an excitement level about this young man that has been kind of off the charts.
McCutchen bounces out to third. A quick maybe scouting report there from Casey McGee inquiring exactly what pitch perhaps McCutchen just hit to the shortstop. And now Garrett Jones, another guy that's been hot in the Pirates lineup. Rested against Barry Zito last night. Well, you think this is a hot selling item, don't you, huh?
Mm-hmm.
How about that look jersey, that all-star jersey?
Got one just like it with a 52 on it.
Remember last year they had the Diamondbacks look to it. This has the kind of the Kansas City Royals royal blue. He'll be in KC along with Hanrahan. Figure they leave tomorrow after the game. Good looking jersey there. 1 ball, 1 strike on Garrett Jones. Last 5 games hitting at a .529 clip.
And the obvious question, Greg, is what is it with Vogelsong? What did he get figured out? Why is he good all of a sudden? Well, first of all, he's not a flamethrower. 104 innings, 72 strikeouts. So he has learned to pitch, for one thing. He got healthy, for another thing, fixed the arm up. And you go beyond that as a foundation. He's just flat out making better pitches. And the more you do that, the more you build up confidence. And that grows. That's a tandem that grows together.
2 and 2.
So I don't think it's fireworks that happened overnight. There was a lightning bolt. Maybe it is more than that, but that's kind of the reading you get.
Pitching a lot of years, different areas, minor leagues, Japan and Venezuela. Steve, he said it learned to kind of make adjustments during the ball game. So it makes it a lot easier to pitch when you're able to make adjustments during the game.
Exactly. Know your stuff. Know what's happening, what's working, what's not working.
Head toward the seat. Sandoval giving chase. Good effort, but out of play.
So yeah, it's usually not one thing. Every once in a while, it's a lightning bolt that comes down out of the sky, and some guy that all of a sudden gets it. But more times, it's sort of along the lines of Vogelsong that you learn and you improve and you mature, and you keep getting a little bit better. You don't. Once you start improving, you don't stop. It keeps going. It becomes a progression that kind of takes on a life of its own. And here he is. And tip your cap to him for sure. Opponent's hitting .217. That's in the same category as McDonald, a little bit more.
It's 5th lowest. McDonald's 2nd lowest. And upstairs, the fastball, and Garrett Jones comes up empty. 1 inning complete. Nothing.
Baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by Chevrolet and their award-winning cars, trucks, and crossovers. By your Toyota dealer, where quality, dependability, and good MPG all come standard. Toyota, moving forward.
First pitch strike to Buster Posey, 2nd inning. Posey played first base last night. He was 0 for 3 with a walk. He'll be the starting catcher in the All-Star game Tuesday night. He'll join teammates Melky Cabrera and third baseman Pablo Sandoval as starters. Wave and miss at the breaking ball, 1 and 2.
Well, we told you this would be a classic pitching matchup, and look what we have after 1 inning.
Posey fouls it back. Usually likes July. Leads us to Game Connect. Get on Root Sports. Click on Game Connect and join us. Watch the ball game. Hitting over 400 his career in July. You can also connect with us on Game Connect. You can tweet and check out other tweets as well, and follow the game throughout on Game Connect. RootSports.com. Click on Game Connect and talk to us. Follow along.
And I think I really do think the Game Connect stuff is interesting. You know, I'm not as much into the tech stuff, but when you look at that, it's kind of an interesting mix of things that make following the game kind of interesting, and it adds to it. You can take a look at it and kind of get your own impressions, make your own judgments. That being said, you can't say now that Buster Posey is a July hitter. There's too many variables.
He's a July hitter. He's an August hitter. He's a September hitter.
Yeah,
so it's early in his career.
Who are the pitchers? Yeah. What are the circumstances?
But that's the thing that Game Connect will do. Also,
yeah.
it'll break it down for you. You can check out the splits, careers, and whatnot. You don't have to bounce around to all the different sites. That's the great thing about Game Connect.
And you don't have to block it in.
That's a great thing right there. And check out the type of pitches that McDonald is throwing and how many and so on.
I guess the point I'm making, you can't use it to predict. There are certain things that have tendencies, but I think you got to, for a hitter to be a hitter that's a July hitter. I don't know, but I like looking at a lot of the stuff on there. I do.
You can also, by the way, tweet us and tell us what maybe your favorite feature is on Game Connect. And Steve talks about
I like the gas. I like the gas.
The gas tank is cool.
I do like that.
Here is Pablo Sandoval. There it is.
Okay.
You can see no problems right now.
Full tank.
Yep.
Those tanks will be lowered as we go along in this heat.
I'll tell you what, so it's early, but McDonald looks like he has both breaking balls working, a good fastball. He's throwing strikes. Again, it's early. Just 4 batters into the game, but if it's any indication early on, man, he's looking strong.
Well, yeah, you follow up that kind of pitch there after a good curveball. You throw that sinking fastball down and away. I mean, you can't do much with that pitch. First of all, it's going to be a ball, but it's hard to lay off it because when it gets to you, that's where it ends up. When it gets to you, it's looking pretty good.
Look at that. That pitch in the dirt. And Sandoval can't hold his swing. 3 Ks for James McDonald, who seems determined to finish on a very high note.
Well, this is Jeff Carson's stuff from the other night. And that ball even further out, that might have bounced almost in front of home plate. Right on the front part of it, and he couldn't lay off. When you're fooling batters, I mean, you are in control of the ball game.
Yeah, first pitch, fastball strike, inner half to Angel Pagan. There's Jeff Karstens. He likes what he sees.
Oh, absolutely. What's not to like yet?
0-1 the count on switch hitting center fielder Angel Pagan. That's hit hard to center, but with room, McCutchen. And again, J-Mac quick. He gets his team off the hot field and into the dugout. And Giants conclude the homestand at 1:35. All kids 14 and under get one of these pierogi inner tubes courtesy of Mrs. T's Pierogies. And we always invite you to come out early for the #1 Cochran Family Fun Zone right outside the ballpark on Federal Street. You can stay after the game. Kids can run the bases thanks to H.K. Anderson Pretzels. Go to Pirates.com for tickets. The final game before the break. Pirates hit the road for a week. Go to Pirates.com for tickets for tomorrow, and really you ought to start thinking about purchasing tickets for many of the games, the remaining homestands. The way the Pirates are playing, I figure they're going to go deep into the summer with this pennant race. And tickets are going to become more and more difficult to get. Be wise to purchase them early in advance. Casey McGee takes ball 2. McGee hitting .247 with 6 homers, 27 runs batted in. He was 1 for 4 last night. The one hit a home run. Missed a couple of opportunities to score some runs earlier. And maybe the big play of the game, and he knows it. 1st and 3rd with nobody out in the very first inning. The Pirates had scored a run, and he hit into a 5-4-3 double play. 1st and 2nd, nobody out at that time. Big couple of outs for Barry Zito. 3-1. Home plate umpire, crew chief Tim Wilkie. Alan Porter at first, Mike Everett at second, Paul Schreiber at third.
You talk about a challenge for them. They don't get to go in and sit down in between innings. They are out there for the duration. Tip of the cap to the men in blue today.
Now ball to Crawford.
It is going to be a warm afternoon for them, but they are out there. They know the deal. That's what they signed up for. There they are. Good work.
Steve, how about the rocket that Alvarez hit off a lefty, Javier Lopez, last night? 457 feet.
And if he pulls it, the ball is in the water easily on the fly. Just crushed it at the big part of right center field. He just killed it.
Vogelsong has given up just 7. It's the first allowed this season by Javier Lopez, and the first by a left-handed hitter in a number of years.
The bounce through the tree, you see it trickle down the bottom part of the grass way on the way to the river. I was telling somebody, a little perspective, that just to the right of that tree is where it trickled down onto the cement down there and into the water. Telling somebody, 457 to center field at Forbes Field. That'll give you a little perspective. Yep. And you couldn't even see the home run fence from home plate in Forbes Field.
That does give you some perspective.
They have the batting cage, the flagpoles out there.
That's what a shot 457 is for veteran Pirate fans, and that is still standing in Oakland, of course.
Yep. I'm familiar with that mark. William McCovey and I visited that one afternoon.
One afternoon he got that one?
Yeah. You can still see it in the eastern sky around 11 o'clock every night in orbit.
Like Haley's Comet. Every once in a while you get a chance to see it.
Yeah, it's a treat. Long, long way. It's 436 to left center. We've got 383. We think that's long. Yeah. And 365 down the line and have to hit it over the scoreboard. So there were some long taters that didn't make it in Forbes Field. Of course, the right field line was 300 feet with a screen.
Vogelsong changes speed, and Alvarez goes down swinging. Second strikeout for Vogelsong.
High outside fastball. I'm sorry, not fast fastball. I was looking at the swing. Changeup.
Vogelsong's second strikeout. Now Michael McHenry. Vogelsong grew up in the Philadelphia area. Married a Pittsburgh girl.
Just had a visit up here from a gentleman that knows how to handle the heat. Former Pirate catcher Manny Sanguian bringing up a treat or two. Good to see Sangy. He was out there on Saturday, Sunday afternoons. Talk about a physical specimen as a catcher for the Pirates.
McHenry puts a charge into one and over toward the wall, and Michael McHenry nearly hits the home run. He'll settle for a double. The power stroke this season for Michael McHenry. That nearly reached the bullpen.
And Pagan turned around like it had been hit well enough to get over the fence. This is a long way to that bullpen area.
From behind home plate, the shot, and the center fielder Pagan.
He pulls up and he gets a bounce.
Just a few feet from his 7th home run of the season. Instead, it's his 7th double. Two out, 2-base hit. Here's Clint Barmas. Rounded to first, had him played perfectly, shaded off the line, and Brandon Belt handles that. Double for McHenry. He is stranded. It's 0-0 after 2. Is going to be very popular. And talk about popular, West Virginia Power fans getting a chance to see one of the top prospects in the Pirates organization, Alan Hansen, the 19-year-old out of the Dominican Republic. Last 15 games, I think 419 for the year, batting .335, 15 homers, 22 stolen bases, 49 extra base hits. Boy, that is so much fun to see a player like that come up through the organization, and it's great to see Matt Haig back. He returned today, recalled for AAA Indianapolis. The Pirates option essentially emergency catcher Eric Fryer back to AAA Indianapolis. Matt Haig is back, his 3rd stint. Breaking ball to Brandon Belt, ball 1. There's Matt Haig.
And Greg, we had a chance to go down to Charleston and watch Alan Hansen just play one game. We had a little reunion down there, and he had a great start to the season, then a little slump, but you can tell last 15 games he's gotten hot again. So he's had the spotlight on him most of the season. And, he's had a great year. By the way, anybody that saw that shot of the ice cream stand, if you can get word to them to send up whatever they can to the booth, it'd be much appreciated. Really much appreciated.
Appeal, and the third base umpire says yes, he went. Of course, Steve, you know,
any ice cream stand.
Well, first of all, you don't have to beg like that. As soon as you mention that you want food, they bring it up here.
Okay.
And that's going to happen.
Food.
Yeah. It'll be here within an inning.
Ice cream would be really appreciated. I'm comfortable begging.
It's a bit embarrassing. And a strikeout of Brandon Belt. That's 4 Ks for James McDonald.
I'm begging him to just keep doing what he's doing. Boy, does he look sharp this afternoon. Way out in front. That previous strikeout that I called a fastball, which was a changeup, well, there's another off-speed pitch that gets him out in front.
Brandon Crawford back in the starting lineup tonight. Strike is called, or this afternoon. Barrel League leaders driven to be better. The ERA leaders Vogelsong, Cueto, R.A. Dickey, James McDonald, and Matt Cain. Pirates miss Matt Cain. They'll get Tim Lincecum tomorrow. Bounce past third and bobbled. This will be an interesting call from the official scorer. It's early, but first batter to reach, Brandon Crawford.
How would you score it?
Error.
I'd call it a base hit. I don't think he's going to get him. I think it was, once it got past Pedro, I thought it was a tough chance.
I mean, I'm talking about hometown official scoring. I understand.
Yeah.
But they do give him a hit. So here's Ryan Vogelsong now. Looking to move Crawford into scoring position. He gets the bunt down.
Perfectly.
On the sacrifice, and Crawford into scoring position. The infield hit. First base runner for the Giants. Gregor Blanco struck out to start the game.
And here's where you want to hunker down, Greg, because you don't know it might not take too many runs to win this ball game. So anything you can do to prevent a run from scoring any time during any inning might be crucial, including this one.
Big cut on the breaking ball.
Kind of looks like James is using the fastball a good bit to set up really good off-speed stuff. That changeup you're talking about, the two breaking balls, and that can change during the course of a game too. You talked about Vogelsong adapting and adjusting during the course of a ball game. That's available to any starter.
Time is called.
Why do they do this? Why do they allow that?
Gregor Blanco got it in.
See, and some pitcher's gonna hurt his arm trying to shut it down at the last second. It's gonna happen.
Steve, let me ask you this. All right, here's a question. Calls time. Does the pitcher have the ability at that point to throw it just about anywhere he wants?
Yeah.
And then why not just being the guy?
You know, honest to God,
that's what I was just thinking
about. I was just thinking about that.
Then they'll stop doing it.
Yep.
If the umpire is going to allow the hitter to call it so late, then just go ahead and being the hitter.
Yeah, absolutely.
0-1 the count on Gregor Blanco.
Yeah, because it's like a golfer. You give somebody the putt, whatever happens after that is irrelevant. It doesn't matter. It's done. You can hit it 5 times, and unless it doesn't count, you still gave it to him. But you're right, and you're tempted to do it. I can remember it being done. I can remember hitters not even thinking about doing that because they knew they'd get it.
Now 2-1 on Blanco, who struck out in the first.
Boy, you think of the violence in a pitching motion at the big league level to throw the ball as hard as you can, and then at the last minute you got to shut it down. And it very rarely happens, but it could.
Fastball's fouled off 2-2.
The great thing about James these days is that fastball is still so good at 91, 92, and now the off-speed stuff. He's got 3 pitches, possibly 4 to show you. So how comfortable can you be? Hitters love to anticipate a particular pitch, and it's hard when you've got to choose between 4.
Now,
well, he's got to get it.
McHenry has called time there, I think.
Oh, okay.
But
I saw Blanco raise his hands.
Kind of exaggeratedly.
It wasn't me.
Raises, yeah.
It wasn't me. Okay. I didn't see Michael do that.
2-2 count. Still 2-2 on Blanco. James McDonald trying to win his 9th.
Yeah, good. I won't give you the details, but I saw once, going back to that thing when you call time at the last minute. I saw once a pitcher get a catcher get out of the way, and the pitcher threw it and buzzed right by the ear of the umpire. You want to call time? Here's how I feel about that.
Okay.
Now, politically, not the correct thing to do for a pitcher, but I saw it happen.
2-2 and the strikeout. 5 Ks for James McDonald. 0-0. Go to the bottom of the third inning. It'll be James McDonald leading things off. Michael McHenry talking to pitching coach Ray Searage. Working with J-Mac. Michael McHenry's gotten a lot of playing time the last couple of weeks with that knee bruise suffered by Barajas.
He's made it count too.
McDonald, 4 hits this season. One of the 4 hits was against Matt Cain. Had it not been for James McDonald's hit, Matt Cain would have pitched 2 perfect games this season. It was at AT&T Park in mid-April. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Now 2-1.
Remember the spring training Ryan Vogelsong had with us one year? We thought it was going to be a springboard for him to take off. I mean, he pitched great. He hit great. I mean,
everything.
He was doing everything down in Bradenton. We thought it was going to be the beginning of a year for him. Matt Cain, I think, on the left there. Mr. Zito with Barry Zito.
Zito got the win, 5 innings.
Yeah. Barry's become very crafty at this point in his career, but hey, crafty is good. Get your wins. Oh, so close.
3-2.
Would this be delightful? With a free pass. Very close downstairs and maybe not so far downstairs. Cards perhaps getting a call.
Leadoff walk to the pitcher.
Oh my goodness. There was 2 pitches. 2 pitches that could have run James McDonald up.
Own a piece of the game with Pirates Authentic Merchandise Collection. Add Andrew McCutcheon's Game Used bat or James McDonald's Game Used jersey to your personal collection, along with Game Used lineup cards, helmets, bases, and more from your favorite Pirates players. To get your authentic Pirates merchandise, go to pirates.com/authentics. Do it today. Look at some of the collectibles. Now, Drew Sutton flied out to center field in the first. Sutton hasn't necessarily traveled the same career path as Vogelsong, but both players know all about toiling in the minor leagues. But Steve, you asked for some ice cream, and within about half an inning you get it.
Good, and we'll be due, by the way, again in the 6th.
Let's show the folks what you get, though, when you come to the ballpark. Get these miniature helmets. Those are cool.
That protects you while you're eating the ice cream.
Souvenir.
In case somebody hits you with a spoon. Yeah, very good.
Again, it's
we'll get some napkins for you. Don't worry. I got you covered. Yeah, it is embarrassing.
What you will do. What you will do. Thank you, Terry.
Yeah, indeed.
Got that camera going down there.
Thank you so much.
Thanks to the folks at Aramark for allowing us to enjoy some of that delicious ice cream.
You don't have to thank us for the advertising.
Chopper to the right side, a foul ball. It's a ball and 2 strikes on Drew Sutton, who was signed in the 15th round, drafted in the 15th round by the Houston Astros in 2004. And parts of 2 seasons with the Reds, 09 and 2010. The Indians claimed him off waivers 2 years ago. He finished 2010 with Cleveland, played in only 11 games with the Tribe, then signed a deal with Boston. Played 31 games last year for the Red Sox. The majority of the season at AAA Pawtucket. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Drew Sutton. Into center field. Gone. One away. McDonald still at first base. Ryan Vogelsong will now face Neil Walker. One of the things that Vogelsong mentioned as being the thing that really hurt was after coming over to the Pirates and then having to undergo Tommy John surgery and miss that full season, then make his way back. He fully recovered, high 90s with a fastball, but struggled mightily at the big league level. And he said that it was the worst thing because he wanted to do good for the fans in Pittsburgh, and it just wasn't happening. Walker doubled to left field his first time up, now an 11-game hitting streak.
And you know, people will say that, well, look at all the big league players that the Pirates had at one time. You know what? Say that about any major league team. Everybody moves around.
Every club will say that.
It's not just the Pirates. Players all over the place.
Ask the Dodgers what they think of James McDonald.
Yeah.
Ball lined into left field. And look at this. The left fielder Cabrera, the center fielder Pagan said, "You got it. I got it," and the Pirates get the double and an RBI and lead 1-0. Neil Walker brings home James McDonald.
Long trip around for James, but he makes that trip. Neil Walker's on fire.
Watch Cabrera and Pagan converge, looking as though, hey, you take it.
You take it, I got it. Alphonse and Gaston. Downstairs, nice piece of hitting by Neil to get it started. As he goes down, gets under that ball and sends it into left center field. James going to make the trip. And that's really the responsibility of Melky Cabrera. That ball slicing toward him. He's got priority on that play. That was kind of a sluggish pursuit.
Well, it sets the stage for McCutcheon. They chant MVP. PNC achievement for the achiever in you. He leads the National League since May the 9th in all of these statistics.
There are other charts that he's on that he doesn't lead.
Yeah, he's in the top 5 in many other categories for the year, in fact, including runners in scoring position. He does lead the league in these situations. He's batting .408. He's second in slugging, .610, behind only Joey Votto. He's third in on-base percentage, behind only Votto and David Wright of the Mets.
Saying the other night he's on more charts than the Beatles were in the early 60s.
Good one. 2-0.
He is fun to watch. Love watching him hit, love watching him run. Those triples, when he hits a triple, that is pretty neat to watch.
Fly ball to right center field, and the catch made. A dive is made by Blanco.
An unnecessary dive, but a dive nonetheless.
So that is out number 2.
When you're diving and you catch the ball
almost
chest
hits you
high.
in the head.
Yeah. Come on.
Looked like he was fooled initially off the bat. Kind of stumbled toward it. So 2 outs for Garrett Jones.
Well, the Pirates strike first.
Starting to rain here at PNC Park.
What's that all about?
Well, some of the fans don't mind it at all. Brings some relief.
I missed him.
Yeah. But boy, sudden downpour. That'll get them scrambling for cover. For some.
We have some full concourses here. This is the kind of a shower that can stop in a second also.
That's a cool look motion on the HGH cam, isn't it?
Yeah.
As you said, it's one of those showers that can stop any second.
That's what you call slowing something down.
Some of these folks loving it. Bringing some relief.
But about 5 minutes of this, even the people that initially like it are not going to be happy. And they're going to shut it down right now.
An 0-2 count on Garrett Jones. Browns crew will scramble to cover the field. The crew chief Tim Welke calling the Browns crew out.
Cloudburst. Heat showers. Heat-related showers. They said it was a possibility this afternoon. we've had some of these throughout the last 3 or 4 days that have been very hit and miss. Some neighborhoods getting it, some neighborhoods not getting anything. But this particular neighborhood is getting it.
And we're trying to look at the radar. It looks as though this has a chance to be a rather lengthy delay. There's a pretty substantial cell just to the west of Pittsburgh. Whether it goes south of Pittsburgh or not is the big question.
Heading toward the West End Bridge, huh?
Yeah.
We've seen some of those types of showers run up the river, up the Ohio to Pittsburgh. And now it's doing it. And you know, the interesting thing is there's only so much room under cover when you got this kind of crowd.
And there's a line to get under cover too, so
yeah,
they're waiting in line.
Yep.
And yeah, some are enjoying it, others got under cover.
I mean, it is doing it. When it becomes a little bit difficult to see the skyline across the river, then you know you got a serious rain shower.
Well, in the meantime, you know, we have talked a lot about this season. Well, the Pirates being 9 and 10 games over 500 for the first time since 1992. Those early 90 division champions. How about Spotlight 1990? Enjoy that while we wait out this delay.
outside.
Yep. So Vogelsong back out. Sun shines once again. It was 97 degrees at game time, as you saw. And as we mentioned earlier, the last time the Pirates played a home game with a temperature of 95 degrees or higher, July 31st, 1999. It was 95 degrees that day, that evening, when the Pirates played the Florida Marlins at Three River Stadium. And it was Jason Schmidt who started that night and got the win. The man for whom Schmidt was traded is on the mound now for the Giants. Ryan Vogelsong, an 0-2 count on Garrett Jones.
Shut the gate and we're ready to go.
Yep. Second base, Neil Walker. He doubled home James McDonald. His 39th RBI of the year. He's doubled twice. Jones struck out in the first. Oh, 0-2 on Garrett Jones. How difficult, Steve, must it be for a hitter to inherit an 0-2 count after, well, I don't know what it was, 20-minute delay?
It can't be fun. It can't be fun, especially when you got a guy that's on a roll pitching like this. Vogelsong has been very good. Certainly the advantage with the pitcher when you reboot, come back out there and start it up again. Not saying the pitcher can't make a mistake.
27-minute delay. Ball lifted in the air to right, back to the track. And Blanco puts it away. The Pirates score a leadoff walk to James McDonald. He scored. 1-0 Pirates. Chucky Jacoby.
Yeah, and Mr. Believe's having a good year.
Yeah, he
so
is.
far.
1-0 Pirates lead onto the fourth inning. James McDonald on the hill for the Bucks. Trivia question brought to you by AT&T Mobility. J-Mac came in with the fourth lowest earned run average in the league. Who was the last Pirate to lead the National League in earned run average? Take a stab at it, Steve.
You got to give me a frame of reference within the last 20 years.
I'm guessing it was one of those pitchers in the early 90s.
Well, you had Dre Beck. You had. It didn't say starter or reliever, did it?
It's just a guess on my part now. I don't know the answer.
Well, we're working with it.
Maybe you could help Steve and me out on Game Connect. Go to rootsports.com. Go to Game Connect. And we'll cheat off your answers. How's that? Is that fair?
Yeah, I know Candy had a big year, but that's way back.
Oh, that's a good call. He, in fact, he had the Triple Crown that year, didn't he? Wins,
76,
ERA,
I think it was 76.
And winning percentage.
Trouble.
Little blooper, going to drop in up the end of Terrio's bat. You can email the booth on Game Connect at rootsports.com, then Game Connect, and we have one from Bruno and Cecil. Steve, can you explain the difference between a slider and a cutter?
The true slider is the cutter, because it started out originally as a fastball that you just, instead of releasing like this, you cut across it, and that creates a sideways motion. That's the pure slider. Now they put a little more spin on it now, so it's almost more like a type of a curveball, because they're doing a lot of this. But the true slider was just cut across the ball, cut across the slide of the ball, and the slider would move like this. Now they call a slider anything that really curves. A lot of their sliders I would call curveballs, but the cutter is it's the first pure slider. They didn't call it a cutter then; they called it a slider because you slid across.
Well, that was your bread and butter.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
And back then they called it a slider.
Yep. And now they call it a cut fastball, but it's a cut fastball. The true slider is a cut fastball. Anything else to me is a curve because it has more spin. But that slider, we just cut across the side of the ball. And it was an easier breaking ball to learn and control and throw for strikes.
Why is that?
Well, the curveball requires a lot more components. First of all, you can't release it back. It's got to be released out in front with a lot of spin, a lot of wrist motion at the perfect time. So it's tougher to put those three factors together and throw it exactly where you want to. A slider is a variation of a fastball, so you got that going for you control-wise right off the bat. Now there's a difference that's very, very important to understand.
Oh, there's
after this double play.
Beautifully done. James McDonald on the 1-2 pitch to Melky Cabrera, following the blue hit by Ryan Theriot.
Talk about timely against a great hitter. Circle on that one, and custom made. Hits it hard. When the good hitters hit it hard, I mean, you're gonna get those double plays, and they hit a lot of balls hard. They seldom give you that kind of slow chop. They hit it hard, and if it's at somebody, it becomes very easy. If we have a moment, we'll just make another comment about the slider. Because it was so difficult, see, it doesn't have the speed of a fastball or the break of a curve, so it's all about location. So it's the best pitch. Ted Williams said it was the pitch that changed baseball. Because if you miss with it, it doesn't have that kind of speed. It doesn't have that kind of break as you would have on the fastball or the curveball. So it's got to be thrown in the perfect location or a very good location.
All right, so Steve, what you see of James McDonald, because I've been curious to watch, it doesn't look like there's this great break of his curveball, though he does throw one, and a slider. So he's got different variations, really, of his curveball.
He's got a breaking ball.
Yeah. Some call it the slur these days. There's a nice pickup off the backhand from Alvarez, and throws a strike to first to rob Buster Posey of extra bases.
How about that cleanup job?
Gets to his feet, guns out Posey. Pirates lead 1-0. to tweet your trivia answer to us. Interact with us on Game Connect at rootsports.com. Don, watching from Philadelphia, his guest, Doug Drabek. Drabek won the Cy Young Award in 1990.
22-6.
But the answer, the last Pirate to lead the National League in earned run average, I think Steve might have gotten it. Candelaria.
Candyman.
1977, 2.34 ERA. So went 20-5. Best winning percentage in the league that year.
Is that when he also had the no-hitter against the Dodgers? He had a no-hitter one year. Might have been later. I don't know.
Doug Drabek finished 6th in ERA that year, by the way, in 1990 when he won the Cy Young. A strike on McGee, who bounced out in the second. I think the Candelaria no-hitter was in 1976.
Okay.
Not sure of that either. Just totally guessing.
Well, no, the internet, it gives you that information, but it also kills the stories. It's too much darn accuracy in the internet.
1 ball, 2 strikes. McGee, Alvarez, McHenry against Ryan Vogelsong.
The pitching we expected is happening. It's never much fun for a pitcher to look into the sun, and that's the way this field, most fields are configured. But Vogelsong seems to be doing okay with it.
Third K for Vogelsong, strikes out McGee looking.
Fastball right there. Ryan Vogelsong, 7-3, 2.26 ERA. Just one last thing, and I promise this is the last thing. I said the beauty of the slider's location. Also the fact that it doesn't have the spin on it that a curveball does. Hitters love to see the spin as early as possible so they can adjust. The slider doesn't, because it is a fastball. So you think it's a fastball, and all of a sudden where you think it's going to be, all of a sudden it slides out. Slides in toward you or slides out away from you. And that's what makes it really good. You can't pick it up and see that it's going to be a fastball that all of a sudden moves. Hard to pick up. Used to love to throw it to left-hand batters.
Candelaria had the good fastball and the good curveball. And
big roundhouse.
I won't bring this up again. His no-hitter was in 1976 in August.
Yep.
1976, but Candelaria, one of the better pitchers.
Well, you look at lifetime numbers for Candy. They're very impressive. Big roundhouse curveball.
John Candelaria. We flash back to Three River Stadium, August 9th, 1976.
National TV.
Yep. Monday Night Baseball.
Little traffic there at the end, but it's fine. There's Duffy Dyer with him.
Duffy Dyer, Al Oliver making the catch in center field. They handed out candy bars that night to the folks at Three Rivers. Just happened to be John Candelaria Knight, Candyman. 2-2 the count on Alvarez, who struck out in the second. What a great moment in Pirates history that was. Strike 3 call. Back-to-back strikeouts, both looking.
It's about location now for Ryan Vogelsong. Fastball right on that outside corner. But that backdoor slider they talk about, a right-hand pitcher to a left-hand batter, they start the slider off the outside corner, and the batter thinks because it's not spinning, it's going to stay out there. All of a sudden, it cuts in, it slides, it cuts in, the cutter. It's a cut fastball that they think is going to stay outside, and all of a sudden it ducks in and picks up that outside corner. That's the backdoor slider. Very effective pitch for right-hand batters against left-hand hitters. You needed to be very good with control of the slider because, again, it doesn't have those two properties that those other pitches have, not the speed nor the break. So it's got to be in a good spot. Good slider ball pitchers wound up using probably half the plate. Bob Gibson And see, the slider never had a big break. These curveballs are breaking a lot. They're breaking a foot.
Now what Vogelsong throws, they say, is the cut fastball along with a curveball and a changeup. And there's a drive to left field, hit deep. And how about Michael McHenry these days? He's got the power. The fort is 7-2 Bucks. This little guy has a lot of punch, doesn't he?
He does. Michael, motorcycle. Almost had 2 home runs. The first one came close to going out, and this one went out. I think that went up several rows as I lost it in those white shirts. Main thing, it got over the wall. Out, away. And he just turns it flat back around.
How about Michael McHenry now with 7 home runs?
It's out away from him, but he turns it back around and gives it a big ride.
Shot knocked down at third by Sandoval and throws out Barmes. A 2-out home run for Michael McHenry gives the Buccos a 2-0 lead here at PNC Park.
Is brought to you by Barrel Automotive. We're driven to be better. By PNC Bank for the achiever in you. And by Chevy Cruze, which offers EPA estimated 42 mpg highway. Let's go Bucks!
We got, let's see, vote Pedro, G.I. Jones, catch MVP, go Bucks with the Zoltan Z there.
Got it covered.
All prepared. Indeed, got it covered. To add the Fort sign to that one, that list. Man, what a job he and Barajas have done. And the power now that McHenry has shown since Barajas got hurt and getting a lot more playing time. Michael McHenry, he's talked about, Steve, how he's finally learned to relax a little bit.
Could you be catching a young man who is emerging as perhaps capable of doing more than you might have originally thought? There's no law against it. You know, he might just be in the taking off stage of his career. And sometimes those happen at the most unlikely times. Right now, you just enjoy it. And hitting like that will make him relax.
Yeah. What a combination those two have been now. McHenry and Barajas. And a dribbler. McDonald quickly off the hill.
Well, you talk about some Pirate catching tandems. There's been a lot of good ones over the years. A lot of good ones.
Yeah, and these two are
they're emerging,
combo, aren't they?
Yeah.
When you see the Buccos on the diamond now, get an exclusive behind-the-scenes look at the Buccos off the field on an all-new Inside Pirates Baseball. See our Buck Money moment, Pirate Tales, AGH Plays of the Week, much more. Inside Pirates Baseball tomorrow, 12:30 here on Root Sports. McHenry-Barajas combination of 14 home runs ranks in the top 5 in the National League for catchers. Think about this. Last year, the Pirates, because of all the injuries, had to use 8 catchers. Well, they've now, through half a season, used just 2 this year. And again, time is called. You're hearing the boos by the crowd as they weren't happy that the home plate umpire once again granted a Giants hitter timeout late. Here's why the crowd started to boo.
You know, the umpires can stop all that too by just not allowing time. That's the decision.
Possible that timeout was called by McHenry. 0-2 the count on Pagan. But going back to McHenry and Barajas, it's nice to see Barajas and McHenry, for the most part, be healthy. And they had to call up Eric Fryer for a little over a week just in case. Fryer never caught the game. McHenry took over the bulk of the duties. So they've combined for 14 home runs, just the 2 of them. Last year, the Pirates had 8 catchers. All year, they totaled 13 home runs.
How about that? Just a little over the halfway mark.
Bounce to short. And 2 outs. This is about as good as James McDonald has looked all year.
Last time out, the Pirates got a bunch of runs. They scored 11 for him, and he won comfortably. 7 innings, just 4 hits, walked 5. I'm not crazy about seeing that. It's going to happen every once in a while. But his control was outstanding. It's still good, but outstanding before that.
His first career complete game was here at PNC Park when he went the distance against the Twins, allowed 6 hits, a run, didn't walk a batter, struck out 5. That certainly is the standout game and the standard for McDonald now in his Pirates career.
First day of summer he did that against Minnesota.
He threw only 120 pitches that night. He's thrown 66 so far, 2 outs into the 5th, and 0-2 the count on Brandon Belt. Jeez, I'll tell you what, Pirates have found themselves a jewel. That trade from the Dodgers, and James McDonald is thriving.
Way to go, Neil Huntington.
Off against Ryan Vogelsong. He led off the 3rd inning and was able to draw a walk and then score on the Walker double. James McDonald having himself a year. A base hit for J-Mac.
It's all going his way. You know, the better you are, the luckier you get. Fastball outside, take a swing. Good things can happen. Take a bite out of that one, DH. Pitcher hitting. Chance to tack one on, and anything you tack on with the way James McDonald is pitching looks enormous to everybody, including the San Francisco Giants.
Play by Drew Sutton. Zoltans are everywhere.
Boy, are they ever. Are they ever.
Was that the Zoltan they were doing?
Whatever they want to do
another
is
shot. See if
fine.
we can find that out.
Yep. Do the AGH cam there.
Double check to see if we can catch the Z.
Yep. Get a second look.
Yep. Ball to strike. And Sutton. And 1-2.
These guys don't seem to be bothered, either one of these pitchers, by that sun right in their eyes, and it's gonna be accented. There's a Z by the fact that the sun is going to be halfway between home plate and the pitcher's mound in about 20 minutes, and that is not much fun to throw out of the sun into the shade. So, as I said, it doesn't seem to be bothering them right now.
Well, July 7th, let's check out this day in Pirates history, brought to you by Day Automotive. On this day at Forbes Field, Pittsburgh hosted the first of 2 All-Star games played that year. The National League would win 5-4. Elroy Bass, Dick Groat, Smokey Burgess, Bill Mazeroski were on the team. July 7th, 1959. They would play the second All-Star game August the 3rd in the Coliseum in Los Angeles. It was the first time the American and National Leagues played 2 All-Star games in the same year. They would do it again in 1960, 61, and 62.
Raising money for the players' pension, which was needed back then. Not so urgent right now.
By the way, the first pitch at Forbes Field that day was thrown out by the vice president at the time, Richard Nixon. As the National League would beat the American League 5-4 at Forbes Field. 0-1 the count on Neil Walker. He's doubled twice. And they line back to the pitcher for the double play to end the inning. Vogelsong throws to first. The DP going 1-3, and through 5 innings, 2-0 Bucks. at Root Sports Pit for team news, special giveaways, and behind-the-scenes looks at your favorite teams. Join the conversation on Twitter today and tell us how you root.
Greg had a chance to meet a lot of nice people downtown Sewickley this morning. Went down there and signed a few books and met a lot of folks, and then made our way up to the ballpark. You know, the neat thing is so much different than a regular autograph session. You're hearing stories about people, why they like the Pirates and their memories, some of their thoughts, some of their stuff, and it's a lot of fun. I thoroughly enjoy it because it's more relaxed. It's just not signing a name, handing a piece of paper.
Be able to talk to people.
And I'd like to have...
That was at the Penguin Bookshop in Sewickley.
Yeah, right downtown.
Great crowd.
Yeah, great people. Yeah, they really hosted it nicely. And a lot of kids, a lot of veteran Pirate fans. A lot of fun.
Signing that very popular book of yours. People still asking about it. And I know I see you constantly autographing it for folks all over the place.
Yep, a lot of fun. It's turned into a lot of fun.
Brandon Crawford takes ball one. Reached on an infield single in the third inning.
This is a lot of fun here, too, watching.
Look at this.
The Z is everything.
Even the pierogies.
It's not just Zorro anymore, folks.
1-2 off speed. Now, is that changeup?
That looked like,
because he has not used that pitch much at all this year.
No, but we saw earlier in the ball game an 82-mile-an-hour fastball there out in front. Same thing, and he doesn't disguise. He doesn't give it away. Disguises it.
So it's looking like he's got all four going for him today.
Yep.
A breaking ball.
Breaking ball. So he went from 82 down to 80 when a lot of people think that you're going to come back with heat after an initial off-speed pitch. You know, back-to-back off-speed pitches are a great 1-2 punch because hitters, they can't help themselves. They want fastballs. They grew up on fastballs. They got to the big leagues hitting fastballs. Let's see if it's 3 in a row. Yep.
Man.
There's the backdoor slider. That's a backdoor
slider. That earlier.
The slider is a cut fastball. It doesn't go down so much. It just goes sideways with a little break. See, he thinks that fastball is going to stay outside, and all of a sudden, at the end, it just ducks in. Coming out there, and then all of a sudden, that little subtle break, and it doesn't have any spin to give it away that it's coming in. Still looks like a fastball spin. Thank you, James. I had a chance to clarify some of that.
He's struck out 7 now. He's allowed 2 hits, one an infield single, the other just a blooper in the left center. And now in front of his mound opponent, Ryan Vogelsong, 0-2.
Well, you never want to say anything's going to happen for certain, but the way he's dealing now, this could be easy pickings, and he can fool around with a couple pitches to try to get Ryan to chase something that's nowhere near the strike zone. Like that. No problem there. His control has been so good today that he's throwing the ball pretty much where he wants to. If you want to swing at that, go ahead. If you don't, here, I'm going to give you something else. Just missing the fastball on the outside corner. So, and that's 93 miles an hour. So you can't say, I'm going to wait on soft stuff. You'll be late. So have another taste of 92, 93 miles an hour.
And struck out 8 and 3 in a row. Hey, earlier today, some of the Pirates involved out in Upper St. Clair through Pirates Charities, the Miracle League field, and the fantasy camp that went on today. Jared Hughes, Michael McHenry was there, along with Casey McGee, Pirate skipper Clint Hurdle, and bench coach Jeff Bannister. And then the Zoltan Z was on display there as well this morning. Miracle League field in Upper St. Clair. So those Pirates, Clint Hurdle, Jeff Bannister, as you say, Steve, a tip of the cap to them for going out there and
indeed
volunteering to cheer up some of those Miracle League players. 0-1 on Gregor Blanco, the breaking ball and the fastball.
What is the great thing they say about the Miracle League program? Those kids have been told for so many years, you can't play. Now they're told you can play.
That's the first really solid hit this afternoon. Gregor Blanco, a single to right.
No matter how good you're pitching, you make a mistake, many times you'll pay. Here's the man you want. 2-0 ball game. Let Cabrera lead off.
Now, do you think they go ahead and shut down the running game here? They're still going to be aggressive, the Giants.
I don't think they run here.
McDonald breaking pitch. He's mixing up the pitches. He's throwing just about everything for strikes.
Yeah, you get thrown out, you make him lead. You get a base hit, now you set up shop, so you don't have to take a chance. You get thrown out, then you got a situation where, well, Theriot leads off. I don't think so.
0-1. Just in case, a quick look over there.
The other side of the coin is that they're not doing much against James McDonald, so why not try to get 90 feet, maybe get a cheap run, get within one.
Out in front, 0-2. Off-speed pitch there. Theriot popped to short in the first inning and hit the soft single to left center field leading off the fourth, then was erased when Melky Cabrera hit into a double play. 8 strikeouts for James McDonald, his season and career high 11, May 17th in Washington, D.C. against the Nationals.
Pretty good lead by Blanco.
And he'll go. He was taking off anyway and reaches without a throw course on the pitch in the dirt.
Was that a late start to second base?
I don't know whether they've called that a stolen base yet or not. Yeah, he just anticipated.
Yeah.
Good anticipation.
Well, yeah, and he's so quick that he can recover and get back to first if he needs to.
So the wild pitch has him in scoring position. A 1-2 count on Ryan Theriot, who has driven in 18 runs this season. Oh my! What the folks here thought of that.
Collective grown by over 35,000.
Good call by the home plate umpire, Tim Welke.
Got us begging.
2-2. Did he? No, says first base umpire Alan Porter. Now it gets to 3-2 on Theriot.
His knees buckled. He came close to going. Came close to being rung up. He used all of his body to stop that swing. Goes down, down, trying to hold back, and did.
Well, now you got to throw him a strike, Steve, don't you, with Melky Cabrera on deck?
Indeed.
Here it comes. And it's up the middle. And it'll be a 2-1 ball game. Ryan Theriot delivers.
Yep, and he got it up in the hitting zone. That was a fastball that was up in that hitting zone. So the wild pitch hurts. That's right up there where you can see it. You know, as a hitter, you're upset if you miss that pitch.
Well, before Cabrera steps in, Ray Searage will pay a visit to James McDonald.
Not a bad idea.
After a couple of strikeouts, Blanco singled to right field, then moving to second on a critical wild pitch and scoring on the Ryan Theriot single, the 3-2 offering. Now the Pirates lead cut to 2-1. Bruce Bochy's club had come in to this series having lost 3 in a row and lost the top spot in the National League West for a time, and they're now just a half game back of the Dodgers in the West.
You know, this is a little bit, maybe not exactly the same, a little bit like last night's ball game where the Pirates got out in front, but Barry Zito did not let the ball game get out of hand. Brian Vogelsong trailing, but has not let the ball game get out of hand, and now here they are right back in it. The Pirates have nicked them, but they haven't knocked them to the floor.
Cabrera 0 for 2, lined out to left field his first time up and hit into the double play. like Andrew McCutchen, among the league leaders in many offensive categories. Drops this up out of play. Cabrera spent some years with the Yankees, a season with Atlanta, last year with Kansas City, and over the winter traded from the Royals to the Giants, part of the Jonathan Sanchez deal.
Where is he erupted?
Quick slap tag there by McGee. Ontario just got his hand in.
He's lucky he's not an inch shorter. He would not have been able to reach far enough.
Ooh.
Close.
One ball, one strike. This line the other way. It's going to slice out of play.
You know, Greg, it's not much fun as a pitcher looking into that sun, and we don't see that much because your 130 games are almost over by now, and your night games, you know, they're starting later anyway. It's not fun because you're looking away during your windup or your stretch, looking and then you got to look back, and it's a distraction. It's not horrific, but it is a distraction, and you just got to deal with it. A lot of playoff games, postseason games start this time of day or involve this time of day.
Well, not too much of a distraction for James McDonald as he gets a very big strikeout of Melky Cabrera. In fact, he strikes out the side, and that's 9 on the day for James McDonald. Pirates lead 2-1, head to the bottom of the 6th. So far, so good.
The backdoor slider from back to the batter, and then outside, and it freezes at his. Just tries to duck in and pick up that outside corner. That was the Coors Light Freeze Can. Brought to you by Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. I've used the iPad.
This is a first in television history.
And the special?
This. He is using the iPad for the first time ever. Ta-da! Didn't you love it? Come on.
Oh.
Yeah. Whatever. Do this.
Playing the toenail.
Here we go. Jeez, be careful. Zoltan is dangerous. You okay?
I think so. I've just been iPadded.
You've been Z'd. Here is McCutchen. That iPad's fun, isn't it?
It's so easy. I mean, it really has the power to change a lot of the way you think.
It'll change your life. McCutchen, Jones, McGee against Vogelsong. A few pitchers in the league this year have been able to figure out Andrew McCutchen. Vogelsong so far has got McCutchen to bounce to short and hit a fly ball to right. And a liner to left.
And now they'll have to keep an eye on him. 2-1 ball game, and this ball game, as advertised, a lot of pitching going on, so they're going to have to be careful and watch Andrew, that he might steal a base. But it's been a while since he's done much base running, base stealing rather.
And McCutchen,
solid line drive. We've seen a lot of solid line drives off the bat of number 22.
That is his 109th hit of the season. And as Steve said, he has not done much stealing. In fact, he's attempted only 5 stolen bases since May the 26th. Once since June the 14th has he attempted to steal. His last stolen base came June the 19th.
Other side of the coin, in case you're wondering, distracted there. Garrett Jones up at the plate. Vogelsong has only given up 7 home runs in his first 15 starts.
8 since the McHenry home run, right?
Oh, well, I'm sorry about that.
Right.
Yeah.
8. 1-0 pitch. Now pop up. Shallow left. Crawford out. Sandoval.
And Son.
1 out.
How soon we forget. Michael McHenry, he's having himself an afternoon double home run.
I guess you could argue that McCutchen wouldn't want to run much with Garrett Jones at the plate, Steve. Keep that right side available. But now with McGee, potential double play candidate, this might be a time where McCutchen thinks about it. McGee has bounced to short, struck out looking. Updated batting leaders. McCutchen hitting 360. Cabrera 354. That's where McCutchen started the day. Cabrera has dropped 4 points.
Remember that last day of the season when it was Miguel Cabrera and Freddie Sanchez? We did those updates every at bat. It was
fun.
Very exciting.
Yep.
And Freddie won out. And Cabrera wasn't here though, was he?
No, he was in Miami.
Yeah. We did see a lot of those at bats.
Yep. Video feed.
That Miguel took. And then it was almost like he conceded. I think he left the ball game late.
Yep. After he realized it was over. I think Sanchez had his first 2 hits put him over the top. 2 for 2, and that was it. 0-1 count on McGee. And it toward the dugout. Posey with some room. McGee fouls out.
You could hear in our crowd, Mike, Buster. That was probably Vogelsong hollering. And many times as a pitcher, you try to help your catcher and let him know where he is.
Well, in a forgettable season in terms of wins and losses, Freddie Sanchez really made the year relevant, didn't he?
He did.
As he won that batting title on the last day. Big time crowd. And Cabrera pulls himself from the game. He says, Freddie went 2 for 2. That's it. Yeah. It was over. An all-star that year.
Not a lot of leg hits either.
No.
He earned most of it.
Well, you wish the best. Freddie Sanchez undergoing back surgery, now a Giant, so he's out for the year. And Giants' career in question. There's Melky Cabrera, no relation to Miguel, now with the Tigers. And here is Alvarez. He has struck out swinging and struck out looking. Bucks up 2-1. Vogelsong, the National League's earned run average leader at the start of the day. Two and 0. 3 balls, no strikes.
And look who's in the on-deck circle. Mr. McHenry.
double off the left center field fence his first time up, and a home run well over the left field wall his last time. 3-0 count on Alvarez. Green light, Steve?
Yes. No.
Well, just because he doesn't swing doesn't mean he didn't have the green light.
Correct. Yeah, the green light indicates if you got something that's really sweet and juicy right there.
Well, that was a good pitch by Vogelsong. Yeah. It was not right down the middle.
You don't want to take a rip just because it's a strike. There are a lot of strikes that aren't good pitches to hit. They're pitchers' pitches in the strike zone.
3-1 count. Similar pitch now. 3-2.
Back-to-back fastballs and back-to-back pitches in a good spot out away from the power like we saw Mr. Alvarez show last night.
Full count, 2 outs. That's hit hard the other way. Down the line and left! Off the wall in left field. McCutchen will race home. He will score. RBI double for Pedro Alvarez off the wall the other way.
What a nice at bat for Pedro Alvarez, as Vogelsong showed him a couple of good fastballs to get back in the count after it was 3-0. And then I'm not sure what the pitch was, but Pedro was able to deliver and didn't miss, hitting a 2-run home run by very much. He comes back to the 3rd straight fastball. How close? How close?
Oh man!
Now because there's a little notch there, right above the 2 and the 5. See where you got extra padding?
That extra padding cost him a home run.
Exactly, right there. And we're going to isolate on that in a moment when we get a chance. But it protects the runway. Now hold that right there. See, comes over, up, over, and there it was.
Strike on McHenry.
What a great answer to that run the Giants scored in the top of the 6th, and we're still in business.
Alvarez rifled it off that padding and left. 15th double and his 50th RBI of the season.
I think it was very comfortable for Andrew to get all the way around.
Yes.
A stroll.
Alvarez is averaging an RBI every 5 at bats. Ranks him up there in the top 5 in the National League. RBIs per at bat. Carlos Beltran, Ryan Braun, David Wright, Andre Ethier, and Jason Kubel, along with Pedro Alvarez.
Pedro's a little frisky out there at second base. So we need the McHenry triple right here. And that'd be fun to watch.
Yes, it would.
He is getting some real big time swings now, and I think the better you hit, the more warm you are, hot you are, streaky you are, the harder you can swing without being out of control. You can increase the velocity a little bit because you're swinging so well, and it doesn't get you into that out of control mode, which is dangerous.
14 of his 26 hits this season have gone for extra bases. Michael McHenry, a double and a home run today. Seven home runs on the year. Hit 2 last year, his first 2 in the big leagues. One and 2 on Michael McHenry. Talking about 7 homers in 102 at bats.
Pretty good ratio right there.
Ball, 2 strike count now. Posey and Vogelsong need to get together.
Well, this is the result of his first 2 at bats. They're wondering, okay, this guy's hurt us a little bit. Let's make sure we're squared away on this. I'm going to tell you how big the run in this inning is and how big one more would be.
Pedro Alvarez has now hit safely in 8 of his last 9 games. 14 RBIs over his last 7 games. Among third basemen, Pedro Alvarez ranks first in homers. He's fourth in ribbies, second in slugging, fourth in extra bases. Now a 3-2 count, a pitch that just misses. Olgason with first base open, pitching a bit carefully to McHenry with Barmas on deck. Lewistown, PA roots for the Pirates on Root Sports. Ground ball left side, and Sandoval handles it and on to first. McCutchen led off with a hit, and with 2 outs and a 3-2 count, Pedro Alvarez, who has been as hot as the Bucks these days, goes the other way and nearly homers. Give the Pirates a 3-1 lead as McCutchen scores.
Pirates Baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by Day Automotive. We're going to make your day. Let's go Bucks.
Pedro Alvarez and Andrew McCutchen, hot stuff coming into the game today. Look at those numbers. Look at the rankings in the National League. Pedro, lockstep with Andrew.
Since the middle of June, two of the better players in the league. How tempting might it be once again for Clint Hurdle to move Pedro up into that cleanup spot? You wonder, after the All-Star break, might we see him hitting cleanup in Milwaukee?
You know, you keep thinking it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And when could be.
It just so happens when he put him in that cleanup spot, that's when he took a downturn. And so he took him out of the cleanup spot, and Pedro has thrived again.
Well, the thing is, if you're winning with it, do you want to mess with it?
Something to be said about that, right?
Yep. It ain't broke right now. James working in the 7th. They're starting to loosen up in the Pirate bullpen. James is scheduled to bat second in the bottom half of the inning. And you don't want any free passes. See if we can make the long trip back. Step 1. Now he got to that point where he came back against Terrio, but then 3-2 he just chest high fastball. So you still got to make a pitch if you get to that point, and he is at that point now. So you just don't want to lay it in there to throw a strike. Still want it to be a quality strike.
Look at this last pitch. Posey fouls off another.
Still good juice on the fastball for James. You want to give in here, throw a quality pitch. If you miss, you miss.
They had him played perfectly. Neil Walker.
Nice? Is that nice?
Over by second.
Boy, and every pitcher loves that. You throw that pitch, it's hit hard, right back through the middle. You say, oh no, a leadoff single. And you look back around and the scouts were right.
Scouting report had Walker stationed right there. We want you to be a part of tonight's Pirates post-game show. Text your comments on the Buccos to 412-412, and then tune into the post-game show. It's your turn to root for the Buccos. McDonald came back from that 3-0 start on Posey to get him to ground out. Here's Sandoval. We saw Tony Watson and Brad Lincoln loosening in the Pirates' pen. McDonald is due up second in the bottom of this 7th inning.
All right. You get good hitters looking for things that aren't delivered, and you're in the right direction. Looking for a fastball there, didn't get it. See if you can find something right now he's not looking for.
Backdoor to second.
Backdoor breaking ball, curve or slider, whatever it was, worked. Out of the way, tried to turn it back around, rolled over on it, get the easy ground ball to second base. Check the direction. Baseball's outside, and then it's on the outside corner. At the last minute, he was realizing that to me was a curveball. Seeing spin, okay, I can't take this pitch. It's going to be called strike 3. Roll it over, and you don't really put a good swing on it. And there's not much you can do. It's a quality pitch. Another quality pitch right on the outside corner. Shaky start to the top of the 7th, 3-0 to Buster Posey. I've got a circle around that. That could be a key moment in this ball game. It's just a 2-run lead. James dealing.
0-2.
Dealing. All of a sudden the switch is turned back on. You got some wiggle room here, James. Make your kind of pitch once, maybe even twice. Give it a try. Yeah. Oh yeah, come on. I was begging again. Almost got that backdoor breaking ball. See how close it was. How close. That close. You got to make sure the umpire doesn't give up on that breaking ball too and think it's going to stay outside. They want it away. And we got it up. Not so far away, but still 92 miles an hour in the 7th inning. He might be right at 100 pitches right now. Close to it.
Just over 100.
104. Okay. Yep. 1 and 2. Still in the driver's seat. He's still got a pitch or two to work with. No, haven't stayed out there.
Lexus Club seats.
Going to take you right down and back of home plate now.
That's what those folks see.
Slide over and get right behind, right on the angle there. This could be the backdoor camera.
Struck him out.
Dropped the ball?
No. Peace, you got to. Yep. Okay. Struck him out. It was in the dirt.
Yep.
Take another look.
Double-figure strikeouts. James McDonald puts a little frosting on his personal cake.
Listen to the crowd. He has struck out 10. Fans loving it. Here on Root Sports, we'll keep it here for Take Me Out to the Ball Game.
Eden Park Smiley Cookie, and join everyone watching at home on Root Sports as we sing Take Me Out to the Ball Game.
Shots from our AGH cam. The Pirates leading at 3-1. Going to the bottom of the 7th inning. It'll be Clint Barmas. And then we'll have James McDonald due up, but we're going to have a pinch hitter for him.
How about this line for him? 7 innings, a run on 4 hits, no walks, 10 strikeouts. Thank you very much.
Anxious to find out where he ranks this start. To me, this is impressive as even the complete game he pitched. Of the 4 hits, Steve, 2 were hit hard.
Yeah.
One was the infield hit, you could argue. Barmas will tell you, even though it would have been an outstanding play, went as a hit. Host your next special event at the ballpark. PNC Park, perfect for corporate events, weddings, bar mitzvahs, and more. Catering options available at the Lexus Club, the Pittsburgh Baseball Club, or the Hall of Fame Club here at PNC Park. For more details, call 1-800-BUY-BUCKS, or you can visit pirates.com/PNC Park events. Barmas flies out. So we begin the bottom of the 7th, and Gorkis Hernandez takes a strike. He no doubt will stay in the ball game for defensive purposes. What a performance from James McDonald.
Very impressive. Kind of interesting too, both these pitchers. Vogelsong has not been getting very much support. He's 7-3. He's pitched well. Not very much offensive support. James has been averaging 10 a game for the last 3 starts. He's gotten 3 today, and he's made him hold up.
And has recalled from AAA Indianapolis on Tuesday. He started yesterday, was 0 for 4. Really for the 8th.
He's the man behind the 8 ball.
Pedro and J-Mac chat.
Contributors today, for sure. Both acknowledging that.
Hernandez is retired. 2 up and 2 down for Vogelsong. Top of the order, and Drew Sutton. Great crowd on hand here this afternoon. The finale of this series, the final game of the homestand tomorrow afternoon. A.J. Burnett against Tim Lincecum.
It'll be interesting to see Lincecum. He has had a very shaky kind of year. There's been bits and pieces of him getting his act together. 2-time Cy Young Award winner. We'll go against Mr. Burnett there.
Sutton hits this one hard to right center field. Extra bases for Drew Sutton. He's got some pop in that bat.
He does. Ball jumps off the bat.
Drew Sutton doubles to right center with 2 away in the 7th inning. He has hit safely in 7 straight games.
6 extra base hits today. A lot of carry to this ball.
Great contributions Drew Sutton has made to this Pirates batting order in 12 games. Now with 15 hits for Drew Sutton and 44 at bats. 7 of those gone for extra bases. Neil Walker 2 for 3. And an 11-game hitting streak now for him. A couple of doubles, a ribby in the 3rd.
Got one more today, Neil. It would really look good right now.
9th sellout of the season. 37,543.
And you know what, folks? Come on out tomorrow, too. Because not much home baseball left in the month of July as the break occurs and then the Pirates go out on the road. is where the Bucks are playing great baseball at PNC Park.
Best home record in baseball. The Pirates are 27-14 here at PNC Park. By the way, James McDonald's ERA 2.37. In the air to center. We're out number 3. Head to the 8th. Jason Grilli will take over. Howard back yesterday, came off the disabled list, out all year with that left Achilles injury, and had surgery over the winter. Last night 2 for 4. His first start since, of course, the final game of the National League Division Series, Game 5 against the Cardinals. You remember that? He made the final out.
Still have that image.
Yeah. Fell to the ground, tearing that Achilles. Gorkys Hernandez stays in the game to play left. Jason Grilli takes over. He'll bat in the first spot of the order.
"32 innings, 51 strikeouts." He's rounded off. 33 innings, 51 strikeouts. Impressive.
Brandon Belt struck out twice against McDonald.
Okay, we won't show you the fastball. That spring-loaded fastball that just has a lot of jump at a batter. Not just yet. We will see it. Like that. Nice when you follow up the off-speed pitch with that good a fastball. Quickly in the driver's seat. Bottom third of the Giants batting order.
One ball, 2 strikes on Belt.
That's a pair of shades right there.
Yeah.
Serious. Summer shades.
The Cardinals are leading the Marlins 3-2. They're in the 9th inning. Don't forget about those Cardinals. They're 2.5 back in the division.
As we said for so many years, the Cardinals will be involved.
Tonight, Homer Bailey against Clayton Richard, the pitching matchup in San Diego. Reds Padres. The Buccos can get 6 more outs, secure the victory. The Reds fall to the Padres tonight, game 2 of that 3-game series. Bucs would have a 2-game lead in the division.
Well, Jason trying to throw that one through the wall. Just got out in front a little bit. Get your body out in front. It's hard for the arm to catch up. Keep the ball anywhere downstairs. Might have a lot of high-flying fastballs.
2-2 count on Brandon Belt. Got him looking.
There. The body and the arm working together, 94 miles an hour.
What a day James McDonald had.
Yep. Here they come. Curveball. Breaking ball. Might have been his slider, what he calls a slider. Another breaking ball. Another breaking ball. Fastball. Breaking ball. Outside corner. Backdoor stuff again. Equal opportunity strikeouts for James McDonald. A lot of breaking balls with the fastball to keep everybody honest.
There's Brandon Crawford fouling this pitch back. Crawford 1 for 2, a strikeout, and updated the earned run average leaders now in the National League. Johnny Cueto will pitch tomorrow for the Reds. Then Ryan Vogelsong at 2.36 ERA and J-Mac at 2.37. Top 3.
Vogelsong goes up 10 notches. James comes down from 245 to 237.
And he'll finish the first half of the season with 100 strikeouts. And now if the Bucs get 5 more outs, James McDonald would go to 9-3 at the break with that 2.37 ERA.
And so clean. A run, 4 hits, no walks, 10 strikeouts. 1 blemish, kind of a chest-high fastball to Ryan Theriot. Full count. Throwing a strike and hoping to get a pop-up. Didn't get it. Got the ball back through the middle. They scored a run.
Strikeout number 2.
Yep. And that's cruel and unusual punishment right there. 94 miles an hour up and in. Not only to overpower you, but tie you up and in. Check out the location. You just can't do much with that pitch if you take a swing at it. Yep. Yeah, late for the bus.
Dave Shearholtz will bat for Vogelsong.
Ryan pitched well again. He's on the hook.
3 runs on 8 hits in his 7 innings. Shearholtz bats for Vogelsong and takes ball 1.
One walk and 5 strikeouts for Ryan.
One ball, 1 strike, the count on Shearholtz. Hitting .244, 3 homers, a dozen RBIs. Two outs in the inning. 1 ball and 2 strikes, so Grilli will look to strike out the side in order as he finishes up a phenomenal first half with 1 game to go, of course, tomorrow. Right there, 94, fired up, grilled cheese.
Spring-loaded. Grilled cheese on the menu for the Pirates this afternoon. That's impressive stuff.
Pirates baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by Jeep. Visit Jeep.com. By AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T, rethink possible. And by Levin Furniture and the all-new Levin mattress stores. For a great deal on a new bed, shop Levin's. Let's go Bucks!
Zoltan Z's everywhere. 3-1 score in favor of the Bucks, going to the bottom of the 8th inning. And up-to-date standings as the Cardinals game is over. Redbirds win it over the Marlins 3-2. Tonight, Homer Bailey against Clayton Richard. Game 3 of a 4-game series. Reds and Padres. Cardinals will remain 2.5 back if the Pirates are able to get the 3 outs. Clay Hensley has struggled lately. He's given up 9 runs on 11 hits his last 10 games, walking 8 batters, allowing a pair of home runs. Fly ball to center for McCutchen. A 1-for-4 afternoon for Andrew McCutchen. Melky Cabrera will get another at bat in the ninth. Hensley faces Garrett Jones. And Zoltan Z was taken from the movie Dude, Where's My Car? Pirates players, I guess, popped that DVD in the clubhouse in Atlanta toward the end of April. And the movie itself didn't go over all that well. This comedy starring Ashton Kutcher. A scene from the movie got the attention of some of the players when one of the characters in that movie, Zoltan, a UFO cult leader, was introduced, and they started flashing that sign, and the Pirates started doing that. You see it a lot now, everywhere.
Off we go. Well, it's fun, and you combine it with the fact they're playing great baseball. It just elevates everything. So, hey, it's great to have fun when you're playing good. When you're not playing good, it's not as much fun. You can have some fun on occasion, but you don't want to have a lot of fun when you're not playing well.
No, you shouldn't, should you? You're not playing well. That's not fun.
You don't want a happy clubhouse, that's for sure.
Beast mode was used last year by the Brewers. The Bear Claw and the Antlers by the Texas Rangers a couple years ago.
There's been themes along the way, different years.
See, Jones waited on it and lines it to center for the second out. Check out Coors Light Cold Hard Blast. Let's go back to last night's game in the 5th inning. Casey McGee, who comes to the plate now at his 6th home run of the season, his first at PNC Park. Got the Bucks to within 1. Cold Hard Blast brought to you by Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. The one thing I think that's great about the Zoltan Z, Steve, is that, as you can see, the fans are getting into it with the players.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I've never seen anything like this, where a fan base joins in with the players.
Right, that takes it to a different level. Yeah, it does. And it's great to see the fans enjoying the baseball and enjoying the antics, the fun. Yeah. So yeah, it's a party. Mm-hmm. It's a party with over 35,000 again, and you know it's been a well-attended party so far this year.
It's unbelievable how people have caught on to this thing. It's incredible. They're doing it with the players. And
you don't write a script.
Yeah,
you can't say, all right, we're going to have this, and the fans will pay
it. Stuff like that just happens.
Yeah, and that's
the best part.
Exactly. Yeah. Those are the best things.
Yeah. Of all ages,
these people are like me in a way, never heard of that movie or that character.
Very few of us had.
But yeah,
they're making that movie it's making a comeback.
But now I do. And there's been talks of perhaps some interest of some people in that movie. Maybe
I was going to say, I'm
here.
not surprised if Ashton Kutcher doesn't come to Pittsburgh one of these days.
And then I guess the character that played Zoltan, a guy named Sparks.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's going to be a great summer for bubble wrap.
Yep.
I've got some in my garage now. I just went out and bought a bunch Friday just in case.
Bounce to short. Brandon Crawford. High throw, but Belt goes up to get it. Joel Hanrahan got the night off last night. Not so today. The Hammer to try and nail it down. 3-1 Bucks. This series and getting back to 10 games over 500. Joel Hanrahan earned his 22nd save of the season on Thursday night. A combined 2-0 shutout. He walked a couple of that ninth inning, a little uneasy. Pitching in 3 straight games in that series. He got the W on Tuesday night after blowing the save against the Astros, giving up the 2-out pinch hit RBI double to Jason Castro, and then Drew Sutton won the game in the bottom of the ninth. Pirates won on Wednesday 6-4. Hanrahan gave up a leadoff home run to J.D. Martinez, then got the next 3 outs. It is hammer time.
It's all-star hammer time.
Now a 2-time all-star. Gregor Blanco, Ryan Theriot, and then Melky Cabrera. And if anybody reaches, it's Buster Posey. Bunting the ball. It's a great bunt. No chance, and McHenry fires it into right field. Gregor Blanco is aboard. McHenry knows he should never have thrown that ball. No chance.
Yep, perfect bunt.
Initially, it kind of started in foul territory. That bunt by Gregor Blanco. But you'll see it here.
Just pushed up on the grass, and once it's up there, it's just going to. Ain't no chance of it rolling back.
Great job by the ball girl getting out of the way there. There at second, Ryan Theriot at the plate. He's 2 for 3. Bounce left side. Nice play. And a pick by Casey McGee. Is that pretty or what?
That is huge.
Wow.
That is
Varmus
huge.
and McGee.
On both ends. You talk about a large out. It looks like it's going to be first and second, nobody out. Off balance throw, the short hop, the pick. Not a long bounce to deal with for Casey McGee. It was the in between. Oh, the Olay. Nothing looks better when that works. Just a great, huge, big
what a play. Here's Cabrera. And fouls this the other way. Barmas and McGee. 1 out.
This is quite a matchup here. What was the matchup we saw? Was it hand-to-hand against Fielder at one time against Brian Howard? The contest last year, just pitch after pitch. It was just dynamite drama.
There's a matchup several last year. I think there was David Ortiz up against him last year.
Yes, I'm sorry, that was the matchup. Sorry, yeah, good call.
1-2 the count on Melky Cabrera. 1 for 3 against Hanrahan in his career.
Craig Stadler's into it. All these fans are into it.
37,543. Bounce left side, and there's Barmas again. Tough little hop, and look at Barmas! How about Barmas? Back-to-back sparklers from Clint Barmas.
Oh boy, what a struggle it's been with him for the bat, but there's no taking that bat business out to the field for Clint Barmas. This is a big league play following a big league play.
So Hanrahan acknowledging Barmas, 2 outs. They're all up. Looking for win number 47 on the year. Posey swings and misses. 96 miles per hour.
And downstairs where you can't get any lift. Almost possible to get any lift to get the bat under it when it gets there that quickly.
97.
I would think with this crowd and these crowds and the adrenaline, the energy, it's such a battle not to get caught up in it and stay within yourself, stay contained, because it's a high flying energy here in this ballpark right now.
The other way, over to right, the catch is made! Praise the Jolly Roger!
Boy, it wasn't easy either.
Hanrahan the save, he nails it down. Bucks are 10 over 500 again, and the love affair with their Pirates continues.
So good, Greg, to come back after a less than beautifully played game last night and fight so hard to take the lead and run the table in a tough battle between McDonald, Vogelsong, and then later on between all the rest of the Pirates to keep it together and get that 27th out. Good stuff. Barmas, terrific. A lot of guys, a lot of participants, a lot of people creating this win.
Broncos continue their winning ways overall, and especially here at PNC Park. The best home record in the major leagues, 28-14. They have won 8 of their last 10 here, 13 of their last 16. The Broncos defeat the Giants in front of a sellout crowd 3-1, and that sets the stage for a great ending to the first half tomorrow. A chance to win another series. And the Pirates did battle this afternoon against a very tough Ryan Vogelsong, scratching out that 3rd inning run, the leadoff walk to James McDonald, the Walker double, the McHenry home run, and the opposite field 2-out double by Pedro Alvarez that brought home Andrew McCutchen.
Great ball game, really solid ball game. A lot of aspects to this ball game, and the error in the 9th inning notwithstanding, this was a solid ball game in a lot of aspects.
And we thank Neil Walker for joining us. Neil, it is just so much fun to watch you guys sometimes grind it out like you did today.
Yeah, this is a really good baseball game for us today. I think we played well. J-Mac obviously threw the ball extremely well, and the defense played great. And Barmy picked us up huge there in the last inning, and I think this is a pretty clean game.
How fun was it to watch Clint Barmas make those 2 plays in the 9th inning with the fat and the fire?
Yeah, that's Barmy in a nutshell right there. He's one of the best in the league on the defensive end, and it doesn't surprise me when I see him make those plays. It may surprise some people, not me.
Ryan Vogelsong, tough. He's been tough for a couple of years now. You had a couple real good at-bats, first 2 at-bats. How much preparation before the ball game? Do you get a chance to watch a lot of tape, or did you have just a good feel in the pitches you saw?
Yeah, I had quite a few at-bats against Ryan, and he's got very good stuff, and you know he's not going to be in the middle of the plate, so you kind of try to cut the plate in half and look one way or the other, in or out, and hope you can get the barrel to one, and I was able to get a few on it today, so it was I was happy to do it, but he's a very, very good pitcher.
Neil, a very hot day. We don't want to keep you too much longer, but we have been talking a lot about the Zoltan Z. I know you had a huge part of it, and the thing that is different about this thing is how Pirate fans around the country are now involved in this thing with the players. It is so cool to watch all over the ballpark today, people flashing the Zoltan Z. Are you guys noticing that?
Yeah, we are. It's a lot of fun. This is something that you know, we have a lot of fun with in the clubhouse, but now that it's taken to the fans and taken to the streets, it's pretty cool to see. So, you know, we're gonna continue it, and you know, we're gonna continue it on into October.
Great job, Neil. You and the Bucks really worked hard to earn this. This is a blue-collar Pittsburgh win.
Yes, it was. Thanks, guys.
Great job, Neil. Thank you. Neil Walker joining us on a very, very hot day, and the Pirates stay as hot as the weather. They go 10 games over 500 as Nissan presents the road ahead, and this is it before the break. A chance for A.J. Burnett to go to 10-2, and he will oppose struggling Tim Lincecum. Lincecum is 3-9, an ERA just over 6. Well, what a great job by the Buccos here. 3-1 the final score in front of another sellout crowd, 37,500. A lot more to talk about. Let's go to the studio. Paul and Teak continue.